What if your body never actually lost the ability to repair itself? What if the system that heals your joints, rebuilds your cells, and releases stored fat has been there your entire life, just quietly waiting for the right signal to wake back up? After 55, most of us assume that slowing down is just part of the deal, that the extra weight around the middle is permanent, that cuts take longer to heal, energy takes longer to return, and the body just isn't what it used to be. But here's what the latest science is showing us, and what most doctors simply don't have time to tell you in a 15-minute appointment. Your body has a built-in regeneration system, and after 55, it doesn't disappear, it just goes quiet. The right natural inputs can turn it back on, and when it wakes up, something remarkable happens. Your body starts repairing itself and releasing the fat it's been holding on to at the same time. Today I'm going to walk you through 6 natural methods, all of them backed by real research that do exactly that. Some of them are foods, one of them is completely free, and all of them are things you can start today. We'll go through all 6, and I want you to pay special attention to number 1 because the research behind it genuinely surprised even the scientists who discovered it. Let's start with number 6. Method 6, turmeric, black pepper. You've probably heard that turmeric is good for inflammation, and that's true, but what most people don't know is what researchers have found. It does specifically for cellular repair and why it has to be combined with one other ingredient to actually work. Turmeric contains a compound called curcumin, and curcumin has been studied extensively for its effects on the body's regenerative cells, the stem cells that are responsible for rebuilding tissues, cartilage, bone, and yes, regulating how your body stores fat. A study published in the Journal of Stem Cell Research and Therapy found that curcumin increased stem cell activity by nearly 40% in laboratory settings, while at the same time blocking the signals that tell your body to create new fat cells. That combination, more repair activity, less fat storage, is exactly what the body after 55 needs most. But here's the catch most people miss entirely. Curcumin on its own has very poor absorption. Your digestive system processes most of it before it can enter your bloodstream. So if you've been adding turmeric to your food and not feeling much difference, this is likely why. The solution is simple: black pepper. The active compound in black pepper, called piperine, has been shown in research published in Plantamedica to increase curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. That is not a misprint. And one more thing, curcumin is fat soluble, meaning it needs a small amount of healthy fat to be absorbed properly. Olive oil works perfectly. Here's the simplest way to use this. Mix 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder with a generous pinch of black pepper and a teaspoon of olive oil. Stir it into warm water or add it to scrambled eggs, soup, or a smoothie. Take it with your largest meal of the day. Research shows mealtime absorption is significantly higher than taking it on an empty stomach. Be consistent. The cellular repair effects build over several weeks of daily use. This is not a one-day fix, it's a daily habit with compounding benefits. Method 5, black seed oil. This next one has been used in traditional medicine for over 2,000 years. And modern science is now starting to understand exactly why black seed oil, pressed from a plant called Nigella sativa, contains a compound called thymoquinone. And thymoquinone is turning out to be one of the most interesting natural compounds researchers have found for both cellular repair and fat metabolism. Studies have found that thymoquinone activates a metabolic enzyme in your cells called AMPK, sometimes called the body's master energy switch. When AMPK is turned on, your cells shift from storing fat to burning it. It's the same switch activated by exercise and fasting, but black seed oil flips it through a completely different pathway. A randomized controlled trial published in the Journal of Diabetes and Metabolic Disorders followed overweight participants taking just 2 grams of black seed oil daily for 8 weeks. That group lost significantly more body weight, saw their waist circumference decrease, and experienced meaningful drops in fasting blood sugar and triglycerides compared to the placebo group. For practical use, the research consistently uses between 1 and 3 grams per day, roughly half a teaspoon to 1 full teaspoon. Take it first thing in the morning before eating, when absorption is highest. The taste is strong and slightly bitter. Many people chase it with a small spoonful of raw honey, which studies suggest also creates an additional anti-inflammatory effect on its own. One important note, buy cold-pressed organic black seed oil in a dark glass bottle. Heat and light degrade thymoquinone quickly, and lower quality products have been found to contain far less of the active compound than their labels claim. Start with half a teaspoon the first week while your digestive system adjusts, then move to a full teaspoon daily. Method number 4, raw broccoli sprouts. This one surprises most people because it's not about eating broccoli at dinner, it's about a very specific form of broccoli that contains up to 100 times more of a key compound than the fully grown vegetable does. Broccoli sprouts, those tiny 3 to 5 day old baby plants you can grow at home in a mason jar, are one of the richest known sources of a compound called sulforaphane. And sulforaphane activates something researchers call the NRF2 pathway, a protein switch that sits inside every cell in your body. When it's turned on, it triggers the production of hundreds of protective genes that fight cellular damage, reduce inflammation, and protect your body's repair cells from breaking down prematurely. A clinical trial published in Molecular Nutrition and Food Research found that participants who took sulforaphane daily for 12 weeks showed a measurable reduction in visceral fat, the deep belly fat that wraps around your organs, along with improved insulin sensitivity, meaning their bodies were better at using stored fat for energy instead of holding on to it. Here's the most important thing to know. You must eat broccoli sprouts raw. Cooking, even light steaming, destroys the enzyme that activates sulforaphane in your body. Studies show that just 2 minutes of steaming reduces the active compound by more than half. To grow them at home, soak 2 tablespoons of organic broccoli sprouting seeds overnight in a mason jar. Drain and rinse them twice daily. In 3 to 5 days, you'll have a full jar of fresh sprouts, enough for a week of daily servings. Chew them well. The act of chewing helps activate the compound right in your mouth. Toss them onto salads, blend them into smoothies, or eat them straight from the jar. Store them sealed in your refrigerator for up to 5 days. Method nut 3, cold water exposure. This one costs nothing, and the science behind what it does to your body's repair system is genuinely remarkable, especially for people over 55. When your body is exposed to cold water, your nervous system responds immediately by releasing a surge of a hormone called norepinephrine. And norepinephrine does 2 very specific things that matter enormously for both cellular repair and fat metabolism. First, it activates what scientists call brown fat. Unlike the white fat that stores energy and creates stubborn belly weight, brown fat actually burns calories to generate body heat. A study in the Journal of Clinical Investigation found that repeated cold exposure over just 10 days increased brown fat activity significantly, adding the equivalent of several hundred extra calories burned per day just at rest. Second, that same norepinephrine surge was shown in research published in Stem Cell Reports to directly stimulate repair cells in bone marrow to multiply and move into the bloodstream. Researchers measured a meaningful increase in circulating repair cells after just 5 consecutive days of cold exposure. Cells that then traveled to damaged tissues throughout the body and began repair work. You do not need an ice bath to get this benefit. Start simple. Finish your regular warm shower with 30 seconds of cold water, as cold as your tap goes. That's it for week 1. Over the following 2 weeks, gradually extend to 2 or 3 minutes. Research suggests that roughly 11 minutes of cold exposure per week, spread across 3 or 4 short sessions, is enough to produce measurable benefits. You don't need longer sessions than that. Breathe slowly and steadily during the cold. Slow breathing keeps your nervous system calm and actually amplifies the norepinephrine response. Method 2, time-restricted eating. You've probably heard of intermittent fasting, but what the latest research reveals about what happens inside your body during a fast, especially after 55, goes far beyond simple calorie reduction. In 2018, researchers at MIT published a landmark study in the journal Cell Stem Cell. They found that a 24-hour fast doubled the regenerative capacity of intestinal stem cells in both younger and older subjects. And here's the part that matters most for our audience. The older participants saw the most dramatic improvements. This is not a young person's tool. This is something that works better the older you are. The reason is elegant. During a fast, your cells run out of their preferred fuel, glucose, and shift to burning fatty acids instead. That metabolic switch activates a specific cellular pathway that directly enhances the function of your body's repair cells and triggers autophagy, the process where your cells clean house, clearing out damaged components and recycling them into new healthy material. A large systematic review published in the New England Journal of Medicine analyzed 27 clinical trials on time-restricted eating. Participants who limited their daily eating window to 8 hours lost a meaningful amount of body weight. And importantly, the fat they lost was disproportionately visceral fat, the deep abdominal fat that is both the most stubborn and the most harmful to health after 55. The minimum effective fasting window appears to be 16 hours. Below that, the body hasn't fully made the switch into the mode that drives these benefits. Here's the simplest way to do this. Stop eating after 8 o'clock in the evening. Don't eat again until noon the following day. During the fasting hours, water, black coffee, and plain unsweetened tea are fine. Anything with calories, including milk in your coffee or a flavored creamer, breaks the fast and cancels the metabolic switch you're trying to activate. Then front load your eating. Make noon your largest meal and keep dinner lighter. Research suggests that eating this way, aligned with your body's natural insulin sensitivity pattern, produces significantly better results than the same calories eaten later in the day. Method nut 1, cool resistant starch. This is the one most people have never heard of, and when you understand what it does, I think you'll be as surprised as the researchers who first discovered it. Resistant starch is a type of carbohydrate that your digestive system cannot break down in your stomach or small intestine. Instead of being absorbed as sugar, it travels intact all the way to your large intestine, your colon, where your beneficial gut bacteria use it as food. And when those bacteria digest resistant starch, they produce a compound called butyrate. Butyrate is one of the most studied compounds in gut health research right now. A 2022 Stanford University study found that butyrate increased intestinal stem cell regeneration by 68% within just 48 hours. A separate study found it crossing into the brain and stimulating neural stem cell growth. It also reached bone marrow, where it enhanced the production of immune and blood cells. One compound produced naturally by your own gut bacteria, sending a regeneration signal throughout your entire body. For fat burning, a randomized controlled trial in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants consuming 30 grams of resistant starch daily burned significantly more fat during sleep compared to the control group. Their fasting insulin dropped meaningfully, and lower insulin is the key that unlocks your body's ability to access and burn stored fat instead of holding on to it. Here's what makes this so remarkable and so simple. You don't need any special supplement or health food store product. Cook regular white potatoes or white rice and let them cool completely in the refrigerator for at least 12 hours. When starch cools, its molecular structure physically changes into a form that your digestive enzymes cannot break down, turning ordinary food into resistant starch. One medium potato that contains about 3 grams of resistant starch when hot contains roughly 12 grams after being refrigerated overnight. And here's the good news: you can reheat the cool potato or rice and it retains most of its resistant starch. So cold rice doesn't mean a cold meal. Cook a batch of potatoes or rice on Sunday, refrigerate them overnight, then use them throughout the week in whatever form you enjoy: a potato salad, a warm rice side dish, or reheated with your favorite vegetables. Green bananas are another excellent source, about 8 grams of resistant starch per banana. Blend one into a morning smoothie and you'll barely notice it. Aim for 15 to 30 grams of resistant starch per day as your target. And if you combine this with the time-restricted eating from method 2, eating your resistant starch at your first meal at noon, you create a compounding effect where butyrate production peaks at exactly the moment your body's repair system is most active. Let's bring it all together. 6 natural methods that work with your body's own biology, not against it, to reawaken the repair system you were born with and help release the fat your body has been holding on to. You don't need all 6 at once. Start with 1. The cooled starch trick requires nothing but a pot, a fridge, and a day of patience. The cold shower costs nothing. The turmeric habit takes 60 seconds. Small, consistent actions taken daily are what actually change how your body functions over time. One important reminder before you go: everything we share on Nature Cures is meant to inform and inspire, not to replace your doctor's guidance. Please speak with your physician before starting any new supplement or making significant changes to your diet, especially if you're managing a health condition or taking prescription medications. Your doctor is your partner in this, and the more informed you are, the better that conversation will be. If you found today's video helpful, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss a new episode. We publish new videos every week on natural approaches to health, energy, and aging, well written specifically for people like you. And leave me a comment below. Tell me your age and which of these 6 methods you're going to try first. I read every single one. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.